All right, you're welcome to day 5 of our Q&A session. I'm just going to set my timer for 30 minutes while I wait for people to join. So 30 minutes timer. Let's see, how can we 30 minutes? It's crazy. All right. So 30 minutes timer on. It's 10 o'clock right now, and we're about to start our session for today. Now, today is day 5 of our Q&A session, and I want to thank everyone that has been a part of it. Thank you. We have 2 people up right now. If you can just introduce yourself. One called Bright, it's good to have you. Who is the second person? Good morning, Wanko. Just signify that you're here so I can welcome you while we wait for other people to join. So as I was saying, this is day 5, and I want to thank everyone that has been a part of this. Some people have been a part of this from day 1, and I think Godfather, you're welcome. Ajayi, you're welcome. Yeah, these are the regular people we have in class. So it's good to have you again. So some people have been with us from day 1. Some people have only been able to join us for 3 days, some for 2 days. Some people, this is going to be your first day here. You're welcome. Bright Daniel, I think you've been here from day 1. I think Ajayi too has been here from day 1. Thank you for joining us. And I really hope you've gotten some value from the Q&A sessions we've been having. I appreciate your questions, and I want you to know that don't restrict your questions to just here. If you have questions you would like to ask, by all means, you can reach me on Instagram. My Instagram account is Tola Alabi Design, and you can send me a DM, send me a question. I'll be very glad to get your question. If you want to reach me via WhatsApp, my number is on Instagram, in my bio. That's the only number I have, so you can reach me on WhatsApp and send me your questions too on that platform. We have 8 people, so just say hi if you are up right now, and I can welcome you. So I just know the people we have with us live right now. Kosi, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Kosi has been consistent too. Yeah, so just say hi. So I would just like us to get straight to it. Jimmy Fix, it's good to have you again. We missed you yesterday, so it's good to have you. Thanks for being on board. So I was just saying, if you have questions, feel free to send the questions to me privately, and I can address them here. Godfather already has a question. It says, what makes a design a creative design? What makes a design a creative design? That's a good question, and I'm glad you asked that question, because it kind of leads me into what I want to start the introduction with. So I believe once I give this introduction, it will answer your question, Godfather. So Godfather is asking the question, what makes a design a creative design? If I got that question right, let me see. What makes a design a creative design? That's good. Okay. So I think Godfather's question leads me to my intro. Now, I got a question from a new friend of mine from Ghana, and he said he had been following my content for a while, and he reached out to me this morning on Instagram, which I said, you can reach out to me with your questions on Instagram too, and I told him I'll answer the question here. His name is Solomon. So if Solomon is on with us, just signify, let us know we are in the house. So Solomon is from Ghana, and he asked me a question. He said, look, he knows how to come up with ideas, you understand, for logo design. So ideas are not a problem for him. He comes up with ideas pretty well. But he now has the problem when he has to design the idea, you understand, bring it to reality. So that's a problem. You see, he doesn't know how to come up with a design that matches his idea. You understand? He doesn't know how to implement his idea. You understand? And some people have this problem. I used to have this problem initially too, where I have a very nice idea in my head. Now I might even be able to sketch it out really well. Photoshop, Illustrator, look at what I have, what I was thinking, they don't match. You understand? That can be very frustrating, because sometimes when you have ideas, you're excited that, oh, this is a great idea, I'm going to execute it. But when you just start working it out, it starts looking very different from what you had in your head. So now I'm going to join this to God's Father's question, and I'll tell you how we'll join that together right now. The thing is, there are three components of a creative design. So Godfather is asking, what makes a design a creative design? Now, creativity, you judge it. It's the final score of creativity for me is over 3. Whatever when I'm scoring someone's creativity, that when someone sends me a project, a lot of people send me projects and say, Mr. Tola, look at this job. What do you think about it? Can you help me critique it? It's always over 3. Not over 4, not over 10, not over 100, over 3. And I learned this from a friend of mine, Yinka Adesheson. He's a very good friend of mine. And we started this thing called Logo Match about 2 years ago. I think this is the 3rd year, where we get designers to work on logo briefs for a specific amount of days every day. The first time we did it for 1 month. People worked on a logo brief for 30 days back to back. I think the last time we did it was 7 days. We did 1 week, and that was last year. So how did we critique people's logos? Because at the end of the day, we critique the logos that are sent to us because we give out a brief. How do we critique it? There were 3 criteria that we look at when we are critiquing a logo, and that's what I adopt right now. So the first thing is idea. We look at the idea. We look out for the idea behind the design. Idea. First component, idea. Second component, execution. So the second component is execution. So we look out for how people execute their ideas. Now, this is where my friend Solomon gets stuck. He has good ideas, but is not able to execute. A lot of people have that problem. Brilliant ideas. When they talk about the ideas and say, this is what I think we should do, it sounds brilliant, but execution becomes a problem. Now, the third component of a creative design is presentation. So those are the 3 things I kind of score. That's how a client looks at your work too, and looks at your capabilities as a designer. They judge you based on how good your idea is, how good your execution is, and how good your presentation is. So those are the 3 things: idea, execution, presentation. Now, I'm going to tell you what can help you develop each of these 3 components. So if you are lacking in ideas, I'll tell you how you're going to be able to develop ideas. And if you are lacking principle, you're welcome. If you are lacking in execution, I'll tell you how you can develop and strengthen your execution skills. And if you're lacking in presentation, I'll tell you one major thing. With all these things, I'm going to tell you one major thing you can do that will help you. And this is what has helped me over the years. So idea. Let's start with idea. How do you enhance your idea skills? You understand? Because you need to come up with an idea. It's very important. Everything starts with an idea. What enhances ideas is exposure and communication. In fact, I'll put it as communication and exposure. Very important. If you're going to be a good ideas person, you must be good with communication and you must be exposed. People that are sheltered and are very introverted in the sense of maybe not quiet, but don't go out and mix and see what's going on out there, are hardly very good idea people. You understand? So you must be exposed to be an idea person. Do you understand? Ideas are enhanced by exposure and communication. So when people tell me they're having creative block, whereby they say, I'm working on this project, ideas are not just coming. One thing I tell them is, it must be that you haven't communicated enough with the client. You guys haven't talked long enough. You guys haven't talked deep enough. So you don't understand the project enough. You understand? So that's one of the things. I did a video on ProUp Masterclass, and it talks about how to deal with creative block. If you're interested, after this, you can check out that video. It really talks about how you can deal with creative block. But one major thing is a lack of exposure and a lack of communication. If you are not exposed, you cannot have ideas. So if I wanted to have ideas about how to make Nigeria a better place, if I sit in my room and just look around for inspiration, I probably won't come up with very brilliant ideas. What triggers ideas is when you go out and you're exposed to situations and you're like, whoa, this shouldn't be so. What happened today shouldn't have happened. Why are they not thinking of it this way? You understand? Why can't we do this? Now that's come because you've been exposed to a particular situation. You've communicated with the environment. You've communicated with a scenario. You understand? So you understand that. So ideas are enhanced by communication and exposure. So if you're a person that's having difficulty with ideas, you must think about it. Oh, I must communicate more, either with the client or I must expose myself more. That means that get out of your house, get out of your room, get out of your office, go out, watch a movie, meet somebody, have a discussion. To open up your ideas on whatever it is you're working on. So that's the first thing. The second thing, execution. Now, here I'm going to answer Solomon's question that talks about, look, I have a problem with execution. Now, and I observed this a lot while we were doing logo match. A lot of people, brilliant ideas. You can see that this person is coming from a good place. Execute, falls flat. Now, these are people that have issues with technical skills. Technical skills. Execution has to do a lot with technical skills. You are not good with the software. You are not good with the app. You are not good with your tools. You're not good with your tools. Your heart is in the right place, but your tools are not good. So now, how do you work on your tools? Now when I mentor people, or when people sign up for my mentoring, I tell them, send me your portfolio. First thing, send me your portfolio. I have to see your portfolio. And I look at their portfolio for one reason. I want to know where their technical skills are. Now, there are two classes of people. There's some people that have good technical skills, and I'm like, okay, I know you have good technical skills. Now I realize what we need to work on. You're not making money. You should be making money because you have good technical skills. Now we now work on other things. But there is also a category of people that when I see it, I'm like, oh, this is the first problem. Your work is not good enough. Now your work gets good by doing. So execution is enhanced by imitation. Imitation is what enhances execution. So if you're having an execution problem, that is, you are good with ideas, but you can't execute. When it comes to putting your ideas on paper, your ideas in Photoshop, they don't just match. Is your technical skills are not good enough. So now you need to imitate more. A big problem a lot of designers have is they try to be geniuses. You understand? And that's the problem that comes from our schooling system. Our schooling system says it is bad to copy. Copying is bad. Copying is a taboo. You understand? When I was growing up in school, don't copy. When you copy, you're committing a crime in school. So don't copy. So we took that into the work environment, into our businesses, where we kind of feel if I'm copying, then I'm committing a crime. Thank you, Kosi, for putting up the point because it's going to help people. If I'm copying, then I'm committing a crime. That's a big fallacy. And that's why a lot of businesses are not growing, a lot of people's skills not getting better. Copying is an incredible tool, especially when you're copying someone that is much better than you. I think the school did not integrate it well, you understand? And that's why you find even people sheltering their knowledge and stuff. We learned all those things from school, where you're working and you put the flap of your book away from the person and say, don't copy my work, don't copy my work. And you're like, oh, excuse me, ma, Tola is copying my work here. You understand? So it kind of seems like copying is taboo. But copying is a tool you use to get better. So you must be able to imitate the people whose technical skills are the best. That realize that people that have copied the most. They look at people that are better than them and copy. So what I tell people that have a problem with execution is I get them on a work schedule where they work every single day replicating good design. So I use a book called Logo Lounge a lot in my resources in mentoring people that have kind of weak technical skills. I use that Logo Lounge a lot because it's an excellent book. And I just tell them, look at the logos, look at the ones you like. Then after a while, I tell them, you know what? Replicate that logo that you said you like. Recreate it. Recreate this one today. Recreate another one tomorrow. Exactly the way it is, color for color, font for font. If you don't have the font, look for a font that is close enough. But recreate it. Some people think it's boring because they feel like if they're not engaging their brain, but you are. One thing you are doing by imitating is you're doing route work. Route, and you realize that you are now your brain is now learning how to choose fonts, how to choose colors. Don't try to figure it out on your own, or else execution will be a problem. Copy people that have done it better. So if you want to be a good person at execution, copy. I did a lot of copying when I started, and I said this yesterday. I looked at people's I looked at who is the best out there, and I tried to copy. I told that there was a company called Too Advanced. They were a website, and they did a lot of websites, animation, and things like that. And they did awesome stuff when it came to doing motion graphics. They were awesome. And then I was into motion graphics. I was using a software called Macromedia Flash. It doesn't exist anymore, but I was using that, and I used to copy their work. I would try to do exactly what they're doing. A lot of times it fell flat, but it helped me to be better than my mates when it came to doing motion. So in school then, that was in Canada then, I was the best in my class in motion because other people were trying to figure out how to come up with, to execute their ideas. I just went to Too Advanced and I just copied what they did. I tried. It was not good enough to compete with Too Advanced, but it was good enough to compete with my classmates. You understand? So if you want to be good at execution, you must be able to imitate, copy. The same thing the government needs to do. It's not rocket science. Changing Nigeria, not rocket science. Go to what they are doing in whatever country, South Africa, China, America, copy it. It might fall flat, it might not be enough, but in the end, it will be an improvement on Nigerian standard. The more you copy, the more you get better at doing it. Before you know it, you develop your own style. So ideas enhanced by communication and exposure, execution enhanced by imitation. Now, the third part of a creative design, as Godfather was asking, is presentation. Presentation is absolutely important. It is the clincher of a project. If you are working with the client, presentation is what dots your I's and crosses your T's and makes the client know that, look, I'm getting value for my money. It is your presentation that makes that client feel like if their money was well spent and makes the client say, look, pay this guy his balance immediately. You understand? Presentation is very important. Kosi, who is with us right here, is one of the designers I'm mentoring. He's excellent at presentation, incredible at presentation. In fact, one of these days, I will try to get him to do a presentation class or a presentation video because he understands presentation. Now, presentation is very important. Now, how can you enhance your presentation skill? Because I've had people like that. The idea good, execution good, but when they are to present it to you, just not as exciting anymore. And I can see that this huge potential in this logo. And I'm like, wow, if this guy just presented it better, it should be good. And I think presentation is a big problem for a lot of designers. And I'll tell you why. Because presentation is enhanced by observation. Observation and thinking. Observation and thinking. Presentation cannot be route work. But a lot of people have made their presentation route work. So when you're presenting, when they design a logo, they have a standard presentation style. It's standard. It doesn't shift from that standard. Their presentation is always that. It doesn't shift. So whoever they're designing for is always logo, business card, water bottle, mug, face cap, t-shirt. It doesn't matter what the company is doing. That's what their presentation would always be. It will be logo, water bottle, business card, signage, t-shirt, and face cap. Do you understand? Some people put flash drive there. It doesn't matter who you are. That's what you get for your presentation. Presentation cannot be route work. It cannot be route work. It must be uniquely intentional. People that do the best presentation present for the client. Their presentation is bespoke for the client. It cannot be route work. So when your presentation now becomes route work, whether you're working for somebody that runs a bakery, for instance, and what you want to present when you're presenting the logo, you put logo, business card, water bottle, mug, t-shirt, face cap. That person would not be excited about that job you are doing for them. It's very likely they won't be excited. So you must observe what do bakeries need, how do they apply their identity system. Observe. People that observe the most are the best presenters because they look at it and say, okay, so if I'm working for a TV station, this is how they apply their identity, and I'm going to apply it the way I can see them apply it within this system. So All their presentations are always bespoke. Even when they use templates, even when they use mock-ups, not templates, mock-ups, because mock-ups is what kills a lot of presentation. A lot of people see my presentation and they like it. But one thing they don't know is that what's special about my presentation? Absolutely nothing, in the sense that it's not anything you've never seen. But the truth is that I stay away from mock-ups a lot. Because the truth is that when I'm using a mock-up, I realize that 500 other, 1,000 other designers are using this mock-up. So it's not unique anymore. And I do not use a restricted template for my presentation. I think of it, what would this client like to see for their industry? How do they apply the logo or the identity system in this industry? I did one for a client last year who was a logistics company. The person came back with another job almost immediately, and the person said the reason why I loved what you presented was not because the logo was extremely unique, but your presentation drove home the message. It made me see the future of my company. And when I was doing that presentation, I thought, what do I want this client to be in the future? How do I want to see this logo used in the future? Is it on a mug? No, a mug doesn't attract anybody. A t-shirt, anyone can do a t-shirt, but make it more intimate. So if you're going to be good at presentation, you must be able to observe and think. Stay away from mock-ups, stay away from being rigid with your presentation. So those are the three categories. The three categories are idea. If you want to be really creative, your idea must be good. And to enhance your idea, you must be exposed, you must communicate well. Secondly, your execution must be good. To enhance your execution, you must work on your technical skills, and you do that by imitating. Don't be afraid to copy. As long as when you are copying, you are not lifting somebody else's work and selling it to somebody else. But in your private time, when you are practicing, recreate other people's logo, make it as good as possible. Then the last part is presentation. Let your presentation be as good as possible also. And you become a good presentation person by observing and thinking and making your design as unique as possible. So let me see, do we have any other questions? One call is saying, how can a designer know what aspect of design to niche in? That's a good question. Babatunde Joshua is saying, please pick my call, sir. Well, I can't pick your call right now, but maybe if you call me after this session, we can talk. I'm not very good with speaking of calls things. I always want people sending me WhatsApp messages as much as possible. You can send me a WhatsApp message, we can talk, I can send you a voice note, and then we can move on from there. One call, you're saying, how can designer know what area or what aspect of design to niche in? That is a good question. How do you know what area to niche in? Now, when it comes to niching, I ask people this question. Now, there are two things you need to think about that can decide what you want to niche in. There is the area of what do you love the most? What do you love the most? What part of design do you love the most? Do you enjoy doing the most? You understand? That if they were to wake you up at 2 a.m., you have no issues doing it. You understand? You love it. You love doing it. It comes to you easily. You know, you can do it for hours and not know that time is flying by. Think about it. Now, there's also the question of what area of design are you best at? What area of design do your skills shine the most at? In the sense that when you are doing it, people just say, man, what's this question? One call, Bright, man, this your design is really good. This your web design is awesome. People always compliment you when you do it. You understand? The luckiest people are the people who what they love the most coincides with that area of design that they are best at. You understand? So you kind of meet. Those are the lucky people. Easy choice, niche in that. So if you love doing web design, and every time you do web design, people tell you your web design is awesome. If you're doing UX and people tell you, man, you are the UX lord, that's easy. You understand? Where the confusion might come is when you love doing web, but people tell you logo design is the best. When they look at your work, they tell you you express yourself best with logo design. They tell you this your logo design works better, then it might be hard for you to choose. I always tell people, this. Um, there are some things you think about when you want to make a decision between what you love and what you are best at. For the people that are going to choose, the argument I'll make for choosing what you love, I'll make an argument for both. So you can choose which one makes sense to you the most. If you're going to choose what you love the most, it's the argument I make for that is when you love doing something, you do it often. When you do it often, you become better at it. When people know that you are better at it, you become known as an expert at it. So that's the advantage. You understand? You love doing it, so you do it. You do it route. It becomes route work for you. You just do it. You do it. You do it. You do it. You know, you are taking on jobs and you become better at it. And when you become better at it, people are most likely to say, this person is an expert. Go to him because your work has become better. But the truth is that you put in more hours, you put in more time, you put in more resources, you bought more things because it's something you love. You're spending money on it without even thinking about how much you're spending on it because you love it. You understand? That's my argument for going for what you love. Now, my argument for going for what you are best at is that it saves you time and it saves you money. While somebody is going for tutorials and going for coaching and buying so many books, because this is your natural talent. It's kind of natural because you do it and it just comes out good, better than other people. You can spend more time, you can spend less time spending less time on a particular project doing it and still making a lot of money from it than someone that has to use the money he's making, investing in training himself to get better at it. So just think about it this way. Some of us are born as with innate talent, and that means by default, factory default, let's say over 10, you have a talent for design. God has given you that talent for design. Let's say designing logos. God has given you natural talent. That means default, your battery is coming at 7 over 10. Someone that just loves it, but default, his battery is coming at 2 over 10. Look, if you just add just a little, you'll be 10 over 10. But that person has to add a lot to become 7 over 10. You understand what I'm saying? So think about it. Think about what choosing both of them, you can hardly go wrong. If that's what influences your decision, whether it's what you love or what you're good at. If that's what influences your decision, you can hardly go wrong if you choose what you love or what you're best at. For me, my story was more of choosing what I loved. To be honest with you, what had more value to me. As I said, when I was coming up, I was very good at motion graphics. In fact, people that went to school with me, design school with me, will tell you we were sure that I was going to be a motion person because my motion was out of this world. I was doing incredible things with Flash. I was good at motion graphics. You understand? So a lot of my classmates will be surprised I'm doing logos now because I never showed a propensity for logos when I was in school. But when I learned about logo design, I fell in love with it. I can't say I was a natural 7 at it. I was probably a 4 or a 5 at it. But I had so much love for it that I just committed myself to doing it for years and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And I'll say I've risen up. Am I a 10 over 10? I don't think so. Do you understand? But with that motion, I probably would have been a 10 over 10 because I knew how to use sound, I knew how to use images, I knew how to use poses. Do you understand? So that was my natural place. But you see, I'm not working in that right now, and I'm still satisfied. I'm still happy. So that's how you can choose what area to niche in. But niching is very important. Question: Ajayi, what books can you recommend to be better in design and branding? What books can I recommend? 1 minute to recommend a book to you guys or books to you guys. It depends. What do you want to learn? Don't learn execution. If you want to learn execution, I would say get Logo Lounge. Get lookbooks. There's a class I have on ProUp Masterclass that tells you how to choose books that you need. How to choose books that you need. Check out that class. If you need that class, look at my video history, how you can choose books. There are 2 categories of books: look books, read books. If you want to learn how to design, get more look books. Look books. Designing has to do with some level of visual, a lot of visual activity. So get lookbooks. I have a book called Symbols, very good book. Get it. There's a book called Logo Lounge, a lot of volumes. I think it comes in volume 15 or so right now. Get it. You see a lot of good logos that will inspire you. You understand? So if that's what you want to build, your design skills, how to be better, your technical skills, get lookbooks. They will build your mind. If you want to branding doesn't really have much to do with design or visual stuff. Branding is more psychological than it is visual, to be honest with you. So branding is much deeper. I think you should get to read books if you want to learn how to brand. So books that will teach you, read books on branding. There's a book I'm reading right now. It's called Branding and Bullshit. That's what it's called. Branding and Bullshit. So if it's a great book. I just started reading, but it's an awesome book. It talks about branding. I think it's a good book. There's a book I also read on, I think, brand story, how to come up with a brand story. I can't remember what the name is. If you follow me on Instagram, I will send you a message and let you know what the name of the book is. It talks about branding too. Very good book. There's a book called 21 Immutable Laws of Branding. Very good book too. So those are good books. They're not books that you see logos, but they'll teach you how to think as a brand person. So that's very important. So 30 minutes are up. Yeah. Branding and BS. That's the name of the book. I can't. That's it. But it's a good book. Awesome book. Now I'm going to take some time just to ask your feedback. So I'll just take about 5 minutes more. Now, there's a challenge I'm having with this sessions we are having. Now, sometimes the videos don't come out as well as I would like it to, in terms of quality, because of the internet. The internet keeps on, the quality keeps on going up, coming down, going up, coming down. So I'm thinking, because I watch it back and I'm thinking, oh, this video could be better, because I really want you guys to have a video that looks clear and the quality is good, because that's very important. So what I'm thinking of is, for that reason, I might not be doing the live sessions tomorrow, depending on what I see today. If I still see that the videos are not what I like, and it's not, and I don't want to be giving my audience content that I think that is not up to par, what I might do might be pre-recorded videos. So send me your questions. Very important. If you want us to deal with your questions, I might do pre-recorded videos and I'll be putting it up on the channel. So subscribers will be very lucky, because you get to see the videos and you get you get the prompting when the video goes up. So it depends on you. Building a brand story. That's the book, Kosi. Thank you. So I don't know, are you guys satisfied with the way the videos are right now, with considering the way the internet is, or would you like us to do, the pre-recorded stuff where you get real clearer videos? Now, for you guys right now that are watching, you might like it because you're getting the live feed, but someone that is watching later on, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, would they really like to watch a grainy looking video because of the bad internet? So yeah, let us know. Babatunde Joshua is saying it's okay, sir. Okay, what's okay? So if you do, if you're going to have this tomorrow, I'll put it up on my social media as usual. But if you don't, still expect to see a recorded video sometime tomorrow. So thank you all for being a part of this. I really appreciate you. God bless you all.